What's up, everybody? Mike Caluzzi here, and welcome to my video podcast. You can find me at mikecaluzzi.com. You can also connect with me on social media, all the different outlets, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. I got a YouTube page, all that fun stuff. You'll find that on my website, all those links as well. So you can check me out there so we can engage and have some fun there. Again, so it's mikecaluzzi.com. And when you get there, you're going to see really what it is that I provide to folks, and that is to assist people to get clear on their goals in business and in life. I found that over the course of my 25 plus year career as a professional and business owner, that one of the singular most compelling reasons as to why so many people struggle to achieve lasting success in their life and their business, I should say, they're really interchangeable, business and life, is due to a lack of clarity. And as a result of that lack of clarity, so many of us stay stuck in mediocrity. We are open to far too many diversions, and we really are subject to that recipe of failure that relates to just not having a clear value proposition and purpose. So my singular purpose is to assist you so you can get clear on your value proposition and your purpose, so you could achieve at the highest levels that you seek to get out of your business. So these podcasts, these video podcasts, are designed to, really educate, inspire, get you thinking, and really recognize that, hey, if this guy can do it, you can do it. We all could do it, just with a complete belief in our abilities and then committing to the process. So today, though, I'm going to talk about something that I think is it's really near and dear to me, because for the longest time I refused to believe that there was room in my life for an active hobby, right? So kind of rewinding a ways back, I remember, when I started law school in 1994, yikes. I started law school in September of 1994. And during that time, I remember I was, I guess, 24 years old, 24 years old. And I started the process, and I remember, taking off a couple weeks before I started law school, because I wanted to get in shape, because I figured, wow, let me get into shape now. At 24, with no disrespect to all the 24-year-old people out there and the young folks, it's a great time in your life, but you really don't know a whole heck of a lot. Most of us don't anyway. I know I didn't. I can only speak for myself, but what the heck did I know? Not a whole heck of a lot. But I remember, saying, let me take these next 6 weeks to really get in shape, because I know once law school starts, and I fell into every one of those cliched thoughts about going into law school. I don't know how it is now, if it's still that much pressure, but back in the day, when we started, that first year, they called it 1L. It was a really stressful time, and I remember, I bought into all that BS, because it really is BS. Started school, and I figured at that point I gotta commit my whole entire life to studying, and I did. It was one of those situations where I just completely and utterly committed every moment to studying, and I got myself so wrapped up in the anxiety of performing and doing the best I could where I felt nothing could break my concentration, and nothing can divert me. So I had to be singular focused, and man, it was one where I did stress myself out, and I probably underperformed, because I never gave myself an opportunity to exercise right, to have fun, to really just let my brain work in a relaxed, focused intensity. I worked in an anxiety state, and that kind of perpetuated out for years. It wasn't really, years and years. I got out of law school 3.5 years later. I started my school first in the day, and then I switched to night because I wound up getting married, and that's a whole nother story. But ultimately, man, I really was somebody who I didn't put anything else in my life, and as a result, what wound up happening, a svelte, guy who was in shape then became overweight. Somebody who enjoyed music and enjoyed sports and exercising. That guy became just a miserable person, out of shape, miserable person, and that really that really kind of, gosh, moved forward for years and years and years. I initially got out of the law after about 2 years of practice because I was burnt out. I was doing family law and it was just not for me at all. I wound up working for a large corporation and did pretty well. I then started buying some real estate properties, and again, that's for another story. But ultimately, and my point for you today is that, when I was approaching 40, I was frustrated, overweight. I always like to say I was 40, fat, and frustrated. That's my tagline. I was a 40, fat, and frustrated person. So, there's probably someone out there who can relate to this, right? Who's sitting there saying, Jesus, is that all there is? That's that proverbial saying, is that all there is? So I was in that space. And that's when I decided to make some changes. And I did. I changed my physical health. I changed, and I began to do personal development, on a more regular basis. Up to that point, I wasn't really reading many books. I wasn't really even aware of the vital importance of investing continuously in my mental outlook on life and how to build, the habit, skills, and mindset to be successful in life as a fully adjusted and balanced person. That is just such a critical thing. So if this stuff relates to you, if I'm hitting a nerve, then guess what? Then now's the time for you to make some changes because it's never too late, right? So I know for myself, as I've progressed, as now I'm 48 years old, I have more active hobbies than I ever had in my whole entire adult life. And really what's great about it is, so many times we think that, oh, geez, we just don't have time. That's BS. If you're effective with your time, you can fit it all in. You can absolutely fit it in. Just look at all the people who've accomplished amazing things. They don't waste their time. So the title of this podcast is The Importance of an Active Hobby. And why do I say active hobby? Because you've got to engage in something, okay? Watching sports ain't an active hobby. Sorry, it ain't. When you are a spectator in anything, that's not going to cut it. It's just simply not going to cut it. You've got to engage in life, okay? If you like a sport, get involved. Get involved somehow. Now, of course, like guys who are saying, well, geez, I like football. And okay, cool. I'm not saying, there may be flag football leagues or whatever else. Just don't live in excuses that you can't do it. Now, again, I get it. There may be some people who have certain type of physical limitations or what have you. But if you don't, and you're otherwise a healthy person, maybe you're out of shape, man, maybe you're, whatever the freaking excuse is, you can overcome all that stuff. You can overcome so much more than you probably even recognize if you just simply commit to that process. But it's about being active, okay? It's being active in your hobbies. I know for me, my two main hobbies, I say outside of my professional world, as I mentioned to you before, I do jiu-jitsu and I play music. That's critical. And I like to collect music as well. I guess part of me is I have that collector gene. My mom's a big collector of antiques. My father's, kind of a someone who really enjoys. He's a very cerebral person, so he likes to get into the minutia of it all, certain things. So I love that too. And my main hobby has always been music since I'm a little boy, and that's what I love. Just I guess some people kind of think I'm kind of like a music snob, which is kind of funny. I mean, I don't intentionally want to be a music snob, but I guess, I bought my first records when I was 4 years old. I'd be banging on pillows, when I was a little boy, and that ultimately turned into me getting a drum set. My parents were great, and they allowed me to get a drum set at like 9. And man, it's been a heck of a ride ever since then. Playing drums for 39 years on and off, but most recently, I've been playing consistently. I converted a space in my house as a studio. I have people come to my house and we play music, we record music, and it's fun. It's really what this is all about, right? I mean, if you are not engaging in one of the things that just make you feel alive, then you're wasting your time, because there's no guarantees, right, as far as where life is going to head. And if you're disciplined with your time and you are clear with your value proposition and your purpose, particularly in business, you could make sure that you are effective, with your time. And that will then translate out to other areas in your life. So, that's just beautiful, right? And the byproducts of all of this, as far as having an active hobby, is, number one, I think that you'll be better suited and you'll perform better in those other tasks that are just more work oriented, or a little bit more let's say rote, right? I mean, because we all have to do it. I mean, consistency in doing the things that are maybe not so glamorous, but the person who can show up and do them consistently, obviously is the one who's really going to have the highest levels of success, or potential levels of success, because they're consistently doing something long enough to really be effective and impactful. So when you have an active hobby as well, it will then allow you to perform better in those places, because you won't be a resentful person. You won't be going to those tasks and just being pissed off because you wish you were doing something else. No, get your work done, and then have your time also for yourself to pursue those active hobbies. So that's number one. It also gives you a sense of purpose and alignment with whom your true self is, because, look, under a perfect world, you'll be doing something to earn income, that's in total alignment with whom you are and who you feel is totally unified with your purpose. But oftentimes, let's face it, it's a challenge for a lot of people, and outside really difficult outside responsibilities. So, instead of, again, going down that path of being resentful or anything else, if you earmark that time for yourself, you deserve that time. So then, again, you will be more effective in your work, and it will, again, give you that place of just feeling satisfied. I mean, let's face it too, like whatever it is that your interests are, like I play the drums, right? Now, that may not be important to other people, but that's not for me to really worry about. I love getting behind that drum set, getting a set of sticks, and playing music with people. It's just a blast, right? I mean, and there's times still, like, if I'm home, if I ever had the opportunity where my house is, no one's here, you better believe I'm down there banging away on drums. So it's just a fun thing. And then it builds self-confidence and self-assurance. Why? Because, number one, all those things that we mentioned previously, but you know what? It takes guts to pursue other things, because so many of us out there are living like zombies. We're living far below our potential, not doing any of the things that we really like. And what do we wind up doing? People wind up settling, right? They get soft in every area of their life. Don't have time for that. We don't have time for that, right? We want to live in an engaged life. So that definitely helps. It also reduces stress. Without a doubt, will reduce your stress levels, because you're giving yourself a chance to express yourself and have fun. And also, it opens up opportunities, right? Why does it open up opportunities? Well, think about it. You're now of course some of your hobbies may be really isolated activities, and that's fine, but I would encourage you to get involved, in like social media pages or things like that. Social media is a great tool for that respect. You can connect with virtually anybody, regardless of, whatever those hobbies are. There's groups out there. And you can align with those people, like I'm part of a lot of different music group pages, and it's fun because you engage with these people. When I walk into a music shop, I can sit and talk to people, like I've known them forever. Why? There's that immediate bond. So that's super, super critical. And then, of course, that then can resonate outward, because now all of a sudden, particularly if you're in business, that's an immediate kind of warm lead, right? Because people do business with people they like, know, and trust. So if you're actively engaged in a hobby, and then you're connecting with other people who are liking those same type of things, guess what? There's just going to be a more natural inclination for them to want to connect and do work with you. So big attribute there. It keeps us mentally sharp and focused, right, at our tasks at hand, because again, in order to pursue those things, we have to make sure that we're living where we meet our obligations and our responsibilities for work, and that we can then give us the chance to go ahead and have that hobby as well. So, what I like to do for myself is I like to create little rewards for myself, that I know that, I have to get certain amount of things done for my work, and then, I allow myself to have the downtime. So that's really key. There's a level of self-discipline there, but I think that, if you're watching this video, you already are aware of that, right? You already know that, having a full, empowered life, one that you're really living your true value proposition and your purpose, requires discipline. So that's kind of a no-brainer there. And again, at the end of the day, it's fun. We're on this earth for such a short period of time. If you're wasting your time each day, not filling it with things that bring you joy and happiness, then it's time to make an reassessment there. So that's really what we're talking about. But again, it's about being active. Get your ass off the couch. Get your ass away from the television. Pursue something new, right? And one other thing I'm going to mention to you is this. You got to challenge yourself, even with respect to within your hobby, because so many of us, will work, and then we'll hit a wall, or we'll hit a level where we think, oh, I kind of hit my level. No, you haven't. You have to continue to challenge yourself. And if you can challenge yourself in areas that you have an interest in, then those habits are going to translate out to other areas of your life if you do it consistently over a period of time. So let's make it happen. So if you like this video and you find it helpful, please feel to like and comment. Tell me what your hobbies are, some of the things you're going to be pursuing. That would be really cool. If you're into music or you're into jiu-jitsu, cool, let me know. We can connect on that level too, which is really, really awesome. But feel free to connect with me. And again, you want to visit my website, you can, MikeCaluzzi.com. On that, on there, there's a bunch of other videos and other resources. I love my my Quick Start Clarity questionnaire on there, which is a free resource for people to get really started in the process of really narrowly focusing in on what it is that they are looking to achieve, and ask the hard questions. And then what's cool with that is I can get a chance to see those answers, and we can set up a time to go over them so that you can really move forward. So again, my name is Mike Caluzzi. I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you soon.